In this video, we're going to look at how the stock market, specifically the S&P 500, typically performs in the month of March. So I have a chart up here of the S&P 500 ETF, the Spider S&P 500 ETF, symbol SPY, since late 2023. So we had this pullback here in late 2023, and we've been on this really strong run since then. And in 2024, we're up about 7% on the S&P 500. So a really good period, actually. If we just go to the start of the year, yeah, just up almost 8% on the year, starting from first day of the year. So really strong performance. And this is actually not that typical of the start of the year. If we look at the seasonal tendencies, January, about half the time it moves up. So over the last 20 years, only 10 months has the 10, I guess you could think of it as 10 Januaries, the price moved up out of the last 20. So about a 50% move up rate or win rate. And the average gain, 0.1%. February, 0.2%, also kind of a flatter month, although it does move up slightly more often. It's moved up 12 years in February out of the last 20. And then March, we tend to get stronger. So we have March and April, which move up 70 and 80% of the time, respectively, 1.2% and 2% average gains. So the number at the bottom of this column is the percentage gain. And this is how often it's moved up. So in April, 80% of the time, that's 16 Aprils out of the last 20 Aprils, the S&P 500 has closed higher than where it opened, and 14 out of the last 20 for Marches, the S&P has closed higher than where it opened. And these are the average gains, including losing trades and winning trades for the months if you just opened at if you just held the trade through the month. So we're coming in a little bit different than the seasonal tendencies. We've typically historically been flat, and then March and April tend to be a little bit stronger. This year we're coming in where January and February have actually been quite strong. As you can see, there's been very minimal pullbacks since that bottom in late 2023. We've only had, this marks all the moves of 2% or more. So we've only had two 2% drops in the last, whatever this is, 6 months or so. So pretty strong market. Pullbacks have been very minimal, between 2 and 3%, some even less. Some have just kind of gone sideways like this did here in November. And, we had a couple little 1 or 2 day pullbacks, but they didn't even drop 2% on the S&P 500. So it's been a pretty strong market, but overall, still heading into March, we are in this overall uptrend. So definitely liking the seasonal characteristics, which generally say March and April, typically strong months. And we do have this overall uptrend going on at the moment. So pretty good overall indications that this market is healthy. Some of the other things that I look at in terms of market health, holding up pretty well. We do see some breadth issues where we have the indexes going up, but a lot of stocks are starting to drop below their 50-day moving average, but we haven't hit any critical levels on that. Most things still holding up quite well. So heading into March, liking the overall price action, and basically continuing to hold long and take new long positions as long as this uptrend continues to unfold. Of course, uptrends characterized by rising highs and lows. So unless we start to see lower lows where we take out prior low levels, prior swing lows, that'd be an indication the trend is potentially turning. But as of right now, seasonally and price action wise, looking pretty good. Just a quick look here. You can kind of see this from the chart. But typically we have the strongest months in March, April, May, July, November, and then these are typically the worst months, January, February, June, August, and September. But just a reminder that seasonality is a historical average, and that's why we like to include it with price action analysis or with our strategies, combine it with those. Don't really like relying on it just exclusively because it doesn't necessarily indicate what price is going to do this year. It's just showing us any tendencies that have occurred historically. So overall, price looking pretty good heading into March, a seasonally strong period.